Everything, all the cameras going?
Yeah.
Cool.
So you know I'm down to 220. The 6-pack is coming back soon.
Me and you both, bro. Man, there you go. Look. Welcome to episode 3 of the Jaye and Jarreau podcast. I'm your everyday dude, Jay Devon.
I'm Jarreau.
And we back, man. We back. Episode 1 is officially up now. Please go to... actually, you know what I found out, bro? Before we go any further, you got to type in Jaye and Jarreau to get to our podcast on YouTube.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. If you just type in J and J,
Yeah.
it brings up a whole bunch of trash, bullshit. Don't pay attention to none of that other stuff.
So Jaye and Jarreau?
Jaye and Jarreau. Once I typed in Jaye and Jarreau, it came up.
Oh yeah?
Yep.
Okay.
It comes up if you type in Jaye and Jarreau, it'll pop up the Jaye and J podcast. Right. But you got to type in Jaye and Jarreau.
And go ahead and subscribe to that thing.
Yeah, go ahead and subscribe to that too. Or you can go to any of our pages and grab the link off of it. I got the link on my page right now.
Yeah.
From some clips from episode 1. And yeah, man, y'all go and subscribe to that, man. Click like, subscribe, and all that other good stuff, man. Follow the Jaye and J podcast. Again, follow us both on social media. We're going to have a bunch of, it's going to be...
I sure didn't do it.
You didn't do it. You didn't. I didn't. Look, I said he was going to do it, and he didn't do it. And I looked, and I was watching the episode, and I was like, he didn't even put the damn tags on there. But going forward, there will be tags on all of our stuff, man. And then you can go check us out individually. Stand-up comedians, writers. We got a lot of stuff, that we going to throw at y'all, man, and that we do. So y'all got to tap in for all of that, man. Or just tap the fuck in for the podcast. It don't matter. You know what I'm saying? Just, which is funny because somebody was just talking about that the other day. And again, we got so many topics that we want to cover and that we do cover. And then sometimes something to come up spontaneously that just, we were talking about subscribing. Yeah. And then I was talking about, there was one of my buddies posted earlier today about how likes and follows and numbers don't translate to asses in the seats. When you got like 10,000 followers, but then you hit whatever city you hit, and you might not have people in that city that get down with you like that. You know what I'm saying? And so it's still struggle. I would try to put
maybe it don't exactly translate, but it does kind of go hand in hand, doesn't it?
Well, it translates in the sense of that's what people want to see. You know what I'm saying? Like when people book us, they want to see that you got numbers because they think, if he has, 10,000 followers, he got to have at least 50 in this major city that this club is in. You know what I'm saying? Or something like that. Unfortunately, it's still, you got to, you can't, and it's the same thing we do at home. You can't line your schedule up to everybody that follows you. Yeah. You know what I mean? So you put a show date out, you putting the show date out because that's a date that works for you. Yeah. That's open on your calendar. It don't mean it's gonna be open on all your people's calendar when you get to X city or whatever. So
but I feel like it don't translate up until a certain level, because at a certain level there are those people that can just post on their social media these dates, and then they start.
We're not at that level yet.
No, we hope to.
Exactly, but no, I get it. It's just again, man. It's just because we talk about and this is by no means saying that y'all shouldn't fucking subscribe. Subscribe to this shit
for sure.
Subscribe. Follow us on social media. Yeah. But just know that the game is way more than just we got X amount of followers on Instagram, we got X amount of followers on TikTok, we got X amount of followers on YouTube, and that automatically guarantees. Hell, it don't even guarantee half the time that we're gonna get booked. You know what I'm saying? No. We're in the process. I'm in the process and have been for years of producing my own shows. Yeah. I try to produce my own shows here in the city. We've done several together.
Yeah.
You know, being better friends, being one of them. Prior to being better friends, I had Friday Night Comedy. You know, and then I've done other shows. I had Comedy and Colloquy, whatever, for a little while over at Extreme. So I produce a lot of my own shows, but again, you know, financially, it's the making sure that it's all the stuff that goes. Like, people don't understand, and I don't even want to get too deep into this conversation because we're gonna have plenty of other conversations about this.
Yeah.
But people don't understand that when you're producing a show, how much time, effort, and money goes into that show. If you're really trying to put on a good show, you know what I'm saying? Between getting a venue, between paying the comedians, between paying the DJ, between, you know, paying anybody you might have working for you on, you know, like doing little stuff around, you know, for you. I usually have somebody at the door selling tickets for me, so that's another person I got to expense to. Yeah. So it's so much stuff that goes on. And somebody was talking about this on my social media the other day. When you get finished that show on whatever given date, your whole next, you know what I'm saying, your next 3 weeks, if you're doing a monthly, just say, because I was doing a monthly, your whole next 3.5 weeks is spent, you know, getting ready for the next show. You might have 2-3 days where you can kind of bask in the, oh yeah, I put 100 in the seats or whatever, you know, I sold 100 tickets or whatever. Once you get past that you get to do that for 2 or 3 days, and then you're right back to trying to get your lineup together for the next month. You know, trying to make sure that, you know, everything is good for the next lineup to come through and do the same, you know, hopefully do better than the lineup before, whatever. But I'm sorry, man. We got sidetracked. We know y'all here. Yeah. Subscribe is the bottom line to this shit. It's subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of what you think is going to do for us going forward, subscribe. You know, you might not be helping us, but you might be helping us. So fucking subscribe. All right. The Jaye and Jarreau podcast, man. Episode 3, and we've had fun throughout the first 2. We've had some good conversations. And that's what we said we was going to try to give y'all from the jump. And we got a good one for y'all tonight, man. Yeah. I think so. I think we got a good one for y'all tonight.
I think so. Tonight, like, in, you know, kind of in the wake of all this, what's going on with P. Diddy, I texted you because I noticed this really through having conversations with my brother, too. And he's like a real he's in the Marines. He's been an equal opportunity officer for years, so he looks at things from that standpoint and stuff like that. But I noticed with a lot of the Diddy stuff, it's like there are the crimes that Diddy committed. There's the beating Cassie up and doing all that, and there's the whatever the racketeering is and whatever the sex trafficking is. There's that stuff. But I feel like while people are talking about how you know bad he is and this and that and the other, I feel like they're mixing in regular like sex kink stuff. You know what I'm saying?
So we really trying to just address where America is with sex. And sexuality. Not so much the Diddy stuff. You know what I'm saying? And we going to tackle that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know we going to give y'all some current affairs, topical stuff as well. But the conversation as we had it through text before we started the show tonight, because we had a couple topics we were throwing around. But again, with all this stuff being now in the forefront of people's minds,
it's everywhere.
Exactly. Like, you can't get away from that, especially, you know, in the black culture. You know, it's big. I don't know how big the P. Diddy stuff is on the other side of America.
They CNN.
They CNN too? They talking about
CNN,
it too?
ABC, NBC, all that.
Well, yeah, I mean CNN, but I'm saying just white America in general. Do they give a damn about, you know, but again,
who knows?
Apples and oranges. You know, we don't know. You know what I'm saying? But we do know that amongst us, it's a topic. You know what I'm saying?
And so, like, for me, again, not so much the crime stuff, but the shaming for you know, whatever sexual appetite
he might have,
and not. I ain't talking about the sexual appetite that hurts other people. I'm talking about the, you know, kinks and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? So
because we know you like to take care of women when you You know, you like to make sure they're comfortable and stuff.
This ain't got nothing to do with me.
You like to make sure that they, you know,
having a good time.
You know, consent is a thing. I get it. I'm not saying consent is not a thing, but it's a long running joke that Jarreau, you know, doesn't.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you the origins of that joke. Basically, we were talking about porn, and they, you know, this was on the Pool Table Talk podcast. Shout out. And we were talking about porn, and then, you know, some people like watching chicks throw up and do all that. And I just said, I don't like the rough stuff. You know, I don't like the choking and the slapping, and to me that's extra. And then of course I got ridiculed just for saying it wasn't ridicule. It was an understanding that you know, we feel you, bro. No, it wasn't that. Here's the thing. It was ridicule for sure.
I've always said this. We're talking about sex and how Americans view sex. And I don't know about Americans as a whole, because again, honestly, if I'm being completely transparent, I don't really pay attention to white America like that. You know what I'm saying? I never have. It ain't never really been a thing for me to really pay attention to what they, like everybody says, well, white people don't do this. Yes, they do. You know what I'm saying? Like they throw each other under the bus all the damn time, you know. I mean, just relationship wise and whatever, you know.
Yeah, but just from one aspect of it, it's like you know, from a statistical standpoint, like the Bible Belt, you know, they've seen where the Bible Belt watches some of the most porn. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, from, you know, obviously it's like a puritanical thing that we started off with this country, and it's like, we don't like our presidents to have any kind of sexual scandals. Even with that.
Well, even if you go back to, you know, I mean, and I don't even have to go back that far. I can go back to when we were younger. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? When we were younger, it was freak. You know what I'm saying? If you did anything that seemed a little out of the ordinary, you was a freak. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? If you ate ass, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I eat ass, but whatever. Who's judging? Listen, all I'm saying is who's doing the judging? Listen,
we're not here to present our sexual appetites are not on trial here.
No. Yeah, I don't give a damn. You know, I don't care, nigga. I don't give a damn. If y'all judge me, y'all judge me. Listen, I'm saying that there was a time when just the word freak was, you know what I'm saying, where anything that you did outside of a missionary or whatever, but we knew everybody was doing. You know what I'm saying? Like people was acting like, I can't stand people. Now again, there's definitely people out there who I know are, you know, super duper square. You know what I'm saying? And then they won't do, like, you know, they don't do anything outside of, you know, straight intercourse or whatever. Yeah.
But when you say straight intercourse,
no, I mean like intercourse. I mean, I don't mean straight like.
You mean just like
missionary? Exactly, missionary.
I mean, there's been like
I don't mean like straight like in the sexuality or whatever. I don't give a damn about that.
But I'm saying also historically in this country, there have been states that have laws against
doing sex in different positions.
Yeah,
yes. I remember hearing that years ago. Doggy style used to be outlawed in the South,
which is like.
Yeah, that's madness.
What the fuck are we doing?
That's madness. And we saying all this to say that, you know, I've always said this. America as a whole, but especially Black Americans, we are by far, and I stand on this, we are by far the most sexualized culture. Where people look at us and desire us for whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's they think all black men are, you know, BBC, you know, Mandingo, or black women are,
there's,
you know,
like the blacked. There's a black channel.
You know, there's a black, exactly. There's a black channel on, you know, not that we watch porn, but
for sure.
Yeah, for sure. There's a whole black category dedicated to being blacked. You know, white women being black. Yeah. And then there's a whole category dedicated to the fetish of white men and black women, interracial.
I ain't gonna lie, the ones with the where she's getting like bukkake by like 10 dudes with Confederate flag shirts, I can't stand it. I'd be like, bro.
What? The fact that you were so specific about that episode, and
it's like different.
I know
black girls,
and I'm saying the fact that you were so specific about that, and I knew what you were talking.
Yeah,
and I knew what you were talking about. Is like, okay, I get it. No, for real.
See, so
that doesn't bother me that much. I don't really care to watch white people have sex anyway. But but that doesn't. I ain't never.
I just there's something about it. But also, like, porn is the place in America where where they stop pretending.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no. They get away with saying the most racist shit. Yeah. They get away with saying the most.
And even if they're doing it for the money, it's still being said.
Yeah,
and I feel like doing it just for the money.
I feel like they're never gonna. Nobody will ever get canceled in porn because the people that do all the complaining have to first admit that they watch porn, and then they're not gonna do that.
Hey, that's gonna be a clip. I want to see that as a clip. You got it exactly. And here's the thing. I didn't finish what I was saying. What I was saying is that not only are we the most sexualized, but we're also the least open-minded.
Yeah.
When it comes to sex, which is weird to me. Which has always been weird to me as to how black people can be so sexualized. And I'm not saying it's right for us to be sexualized. Yeah. I'm not saying that at all. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. You know
but then to be sexually oppressed on the other side.
On the other side of it, and not understand the whys of why we're so highly sexualized. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because we're so closed-minded that we don't even want to understand why that's even the case first and foremost. But then you have all these hang-ups about sex, like, and I always use this one as a perfect example. Here's the first example that always comes to my mind right out the gate. Anytime a heterosexual male mentions liking anal sex, he's gay in the black community. Or people will come for him for being gay. Like, oh, why would you want to have anal sex with a woman? Like, what? You know what I'm saying? Like,
why would you want to get a blowjob from a woman?
Exactly. But that's what I'm saying. We take certain things and categorize them instead of.
I never heard that. I mean, I've heard.
You've seen that before.
I've heard where they be like, if that's all he wants, that's sus. Like,
no, I haven't even heard it. I haven't even heard of it. If that's all I'm saying, like just in general, not even.
I haven't heard that if he wants that at all. I've heard
that's wild.
I've heard if he wants his ass ate.
I've seen it in groups before where dudes or black women. These are black women I'm talking about. I'm in black, sex groups talking about sex and the topic of a man liking sex, anal sex with a woman, is always met with someone saying that dude is gay.
Well, why is just because they don't want to do it, so they have all this vitriol.
And that's what I'm saying. So then we go back to
some women like it, believe it.
The way I know women who love it. Absolutely.
Black women too. Like that's the other thing. They always been that, like,
because I don't deal with anybody else that's non-black. So I don't. So all the women I've done it with have been. Right. Black women who have, and some of them have absolutely enjoyed it. I ain't gonna hold you, bro. I ain't gonna, but
no, some of them be on. That's what they be on, and like that's the other thing that's put out into the atmosphere that if you want to freak, you got to get a white woman. That's just not
that. That's another.
That's just not true.
That's another thing, and like, because I saw a post not long ago where it was like, black women are finally catching up with white women as far as, giving head.
Man, when I was in high school, black women was with the business.
Thank you. And I'm like, y'all don't know where y'all looking. I don't know where y'all finding y'all black women at. I've been doing this shit since the early 90s. Good. 90, 91, whatever, when I started having sex. I started a little bit late. I had a little bit of sex before that, but I didn't really start having sex till I was, out of high school. I know I know, nigga, this whatever. But I say all that to say
that's actually the proper way.
I've never, and again, bro, I'm talking about women in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I had women I was messing with in the 90s, older women. You know, one of the first women I messed with was, I was 19, she was 36, 37. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, you know, again, I don't like to throw the word around, but she was a goddamn freak. You know what I'm saying? She was, you know, anal, you know, licked ass, all that shit. And I was just like, oh, okay, you know, she pause, opened me up, you know, to she's the one who taught me, you know, all the shit, you know. I was just like, okay, whatever. So I've never not known black women that have done that, because then I would meet with, now here's the thing, I've met women who, you know, haven't been with the business, you know what I'm saying? But I've met way more women who have been open-minded and have, you know, so I don't understand that thinking that we've always thought like, oh, well, black people don't do that and don't do this or whatever.
I got my stuff that I don't like rock with, you know what I'm saying? That's, you know, whatever. Like I don't rock with the tell
the people.
I don't rock with the touching of my butthole, and I don't rock with I don't rock with like nipples sucking my nipples and shit like that.
You don't like your nipples licked?
Nah, I don't like them even touched or even acknowledged.
Damn, bro, I mean,
I get, but see, that's the thing. But I'm not finna be like, oh, you like them nipples?
Yeah.
Like you,
and I'm not gonna judge you. I am kind of, you know, I'm not gonna judge you.
Whatever.
But just that right there, that we could have that separation of what we like.
It usually comes with judgment.
And still be okay. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and again, you know, it's always an issue. I think I said this last week when we were having a conversation, or the first episode. Yeah. When I used the word hoe. Mm-hmm. I was saying something to the effect of, I was in my, you know, settle down phase and she was in her hoe phase, referring to a woman who rejected me at the time about, you know, really wanting to be with her or whatever. And then I had to clarify that, you know, by no means am I calling any woman a hoe. You know what I'm saying? Live your life.
And you was talking about how you don't do the body count stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
We got that bad.
We didn't talk about, you know, we kind of touched on that. But even with that, exactly. You know, again, black people in America, you know, black men, and I'm seeing that way more now.
Yeah.
The body count thing, dude, is like crazy to me, because I'm like, if I meet a woman in her 40s, you know, 50, whatever, I'm 52. I don't meet women under 45. You know, I don't really deal with no. So if I'm talking to a woman and she tell me she only been with one person, honestly, that's a turn off for me.
But honestly, I think that's also why we have a lot of dudes our age searching for 19 and 20-year-olds.
That's crazy to me, bro.
I've heard cats, you know, they make the joke, oh, college put you know, fresh ones out every year and this and that and the other, and it's just like the wanting to, and I've heard men say this, that they want a young woman like that so that they can mold them and try to be like, any woman you want to mold is weird.
I'm wired different, bro, because again, that don't even register with me, man. It's weird to me to even be with a woman that young. And I'm not saying I haven't, you know, dabbled in a couple of young girls in my, you know, over my time, but when I think about it now, I'm like, I'm 52. I mean, you know, like late 30s is my, you know, and that's still 15 years. You know what I'm saying? If I say 30, let's say I say 38, that's still 15 years, bro. That's 15 years. Like, we don't, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that we don't have anything in common, but, you know.
I mean, when I met my wife, she was 23 and I was 32.
Okay.
Something like that.
Okay.
And, you know, at the time, if you would have asked me, would you date a 23-year-old? I would have said no. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Because I just wouldn't have seen. But, you know, we went out on a date. We talked and things. She's more on the mature, you know.
Yeah. And I'm not saying,
she's more on the mature side, but that be the thing, like, you know, I hear comedians all the time get up and talk about how, we just went and seen some comedians this weekend. One dude was up there talking about, and this dude was like 50.
Yeah.
Talking about, man, with the young girls, and I was talking to this one young girl, and this young girls, and this young girls, and fussing about the young girls. It's like, dude, stop messing with young girls.
Them. Exactly, bro.
Why don't you?
But even that, the you know, we also shame about that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but you know, there is a lot of shame that comes from an older man wanting a younger woman. You said that, you know, or vice versa. I've seen women get shamed for.
To me, there is a shame to it if there's that reason is the reason. Yeah. Because you want to mold and you know, like.
But to me, what other reason is there? You got two reasons. Either because here's the thing.
It's the body count thing is the other reason.
Well, the body count thing, but like you said, you know, it's the molding thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you take the molding off the table and just say I'm a guy who just wants to have sex with a young girl.
Yeah.
I don't give a damn about molding or nothing like that. Yeah. I just want to have sex with an 18, 19-year-old. She's an adult, but she's 18, 19. To me, that's weird.
That's skin crawl.
Yeah, exactly. You know, to me, that's weird.
But
bro.
it's legal. But it's legal.
I'm not saying exactly. It's legal, but it's weird to me because I'm like I'm 52. I can't imagine a 19-year-old, bro. I would be disgusted. I just like. Here's a true story. True story. I'm on Instagram, and my Explore page has a bunch of, you know, what I like on there. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? If we being specific, you know,
BBWs.
Big booties, you know, exactly. BBWs, big booties, you know, thick, you know, plus size women, whatever. That's what my Explore page looked like. Yeah. That and cats and you know, shit like a guitar shit, whatever. Mm-hmm. There was this one young lady that I, you know, came up on my Explore page. Mm-hmm. I hit the picture, you know, looked at her, whatever. And I didn't even have to scroll through her page because like her second or third picture was her holding up balloons. Mm-hmm. She was 23. Mm-hmm. I took my like back. I took my like back, and she didn't look young, you know, from the picture that I saw. Yeah. But then when I looked at her, I went, oh, I guess I could see, you know. Yeah. I was thinking more 30, you know, ish, whatever. Maybe she wasn't. She was 20. She was under 30. I remember that much. 27 or something, like 26, 27, whatever. 27. Yeah. I don't know. But it was in that range. Listen, it was in that range that made me uncomfortable liking her pic. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'll take my like back, little girl.
And that being said, I've met women where I'd be like, man, if I was 20 years younger, I would holler. Like, you are attractive.
I gotta say that. I can't. Yeah.
Right. I wouldn't still holler, but I'm saying like, for those young men in your age group, that's good
they
for
win.
them.
Exactly. They win. And again, I've seen, you know, I've been out and about and I've seen some young girls, and I think to myself, oh man, it's gonna be a lucky young dude to, you know, get with her or whatever. But to be past that, I'm like,
and to be fair,
even that feels weird to me. You know, even that is like, nah.
But to be fair, you also have those young women that like older men,
and we deal with that. I've dealt with that, but just it's just not a But it's not a thing for me. Not that young anyway. Like I said, my age range is, you know, right now, I'm saying 15 years, but even that, as I say it, is you know,
I mean, it is. I mean, when it gets to the point where it's like, at least in your 30s or something. But I feel like also, I don't know, a 50-year-old man with a 28-year-old is not gross, because by the time you're 28, you've lived some life and you know, you have enough experience in you to know what you like, what you don't like, and shit like that. By the time you're 28,
Let me ask a question. Why do you think there's so much sexual shame in the black community?
I think it really all started with the whole Puritan thing that we came over here with.
So you think America. It goes back to slavery, and
I think slavery, and then those you know, the beliefs of Puritans and stuff being thrust upon us.
Got you.
And then you have in the black church, which is a large part of the black community, it's definitely, you know, everybody pretends like, you know, they don't do that and they don't do this. Even with the, like, bro, the black church.
So why do you think that is? Why do you think it's always been necessary for us to downplay, you know, like, for example, and I know you know this, you know, and there's probably a lot of people who can speak to this. We watched our grandmothers you know, we got 6, 7 uncles. You know what I'm saying? From the same grandma. You know what I'm saying? From the same grandmother, we got our mom and plus 5, 6, 7 uncles and aunts. But then our grandmother is this Chase. You know. Why? But maybe y'all can answer that.
But this is the thing. I feel like in truly breaking it down, the psychology of it comes from the whole Puritan thing, and then it gets wrapped up into religion, which the black church is all about that. Like, they are born into that way of thinking because of, you know, slavery, like you said, and that's how the black church started. And then you get how, you know, like in the black church, so much of the flavor, so much of the style, so much of the the pizzazz of the black church is from gay men. And the black church also still gets up there and shames those gay men.
No, absolutely, bro.
You know what I mean? While they take all the...
Here's the crazy part. And again, you know, this is stuff that I see when I'm in some of the groups.
Let me just say this one thing. And when I say flavor, I'm just talking about most of the best gospel, not most, but some of the best gospel singers, musicians.
Yep.
And it's not just that it's not their singing ability or their thing, but that whole swag that gay men bring to the black church is in a way celebrated, while the thing that they do is shamed.
Well, it's celebrated outside the church. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you look at a lot of, you know, more a group of straight black women would be more prone to hang out with, you know, a gay man than, let's say, me. You know what I'm saying? Like, just on the strength of just, you know, I've seen it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and again, no knock. No, I'm just saying, we, in the same way that you say the church embraces the gay black men who bring the flavor to the church, but won't embrace who they are outside of that, black women do that too, because they'll embrace a gay dude but won't embrace a bisexual dude. Right?
I guess so.
A gay dude, they good with. They good with the gay. The bi dude is confused.
But also
the dude who knows that he likes both men and knows it. I ain't talking about down low. I ain't talking about I'm talking about openly bisexual. That man has women going, oh well, he's gay and whatever. Like,
bro, one of the interesting things when I was when I was doing my first podcast, the Barstool podcast, and I asked several black women, because at the time there was an episode of Insecure. Did you ever watch Insecure?
I remember that. Yep.
There was an episode of Insecure where he said, she told him she had done some experiment in college and this and that and the other.
And then
he said he had done the same thing. And so I had asked several black women, like, would they be okay with that? And surprisingly, some of them was like, yeah. And I think, like, but even with, as you say, like, black women embrace gay men, like, you know, my brothers told me about times where he would be somewhere with his husband or whatever, and then black women will walk by and say stuff like, what a waste or something. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, and now we can back up to the conversation that we had about rejection. Right? Because even that, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure your brother's a good looking dude, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, Marine Corps. So in their mind, exactly. So in their mind, it's like, you know, but if it was just some random, you know.
And that's the thing.
Decent,
like,
average looking dude, you know, he's cool to be gay, but if I'm gay, it's like, oh, nigga, that's a waste of man to be gay.
Both of these dudes, they, you know what I'm saying, exactly. Big, like, in shape, you know, clean cut.
I've seen it before.
Ready for the crowd, but
I remember seeing these two gay dudes one time that I was like, God damn, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
No, not like that, but I was just like, these some good looking dudes.
It's
like,
okay, man, we're not here to shame anyone.
But I wouldn't. But as a woman, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, example. And again, we talk about this. You know, we can talk about this too. We can add this in there too. There's a difference between men and women in this too, because I can't speak for all men. Most of the dudes I know, if we see two attractive women, it don't move us.
But as far as you,
like as like if we knew that two attractive women were together, like a couple, it don't move me. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of times though, it
don't make me. Most of the time, you'll see. You know, I mean, you rarely ever see two like lipstick lesbians together. You know, whatever. But on occasion, you do. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't gonna hold you. I mean, I know some studs that look good. You know what I'm saying? As men, women, whatever, they look good. But even then, I ain't never seen a stud and trip. You know what I'm saying? I've never seen a lesbian couple and had some kind of feeling about it.
Yeah.
Regardless of what they look like.
Yeah.
Attractive, you know, whatever. It's never been like, oh, why they, you know, and again, I guess because I've always been open-minded regarding sexuality, you know, whatever. That none of that ever bothers me.
Yeah.
But like you said, you know, those same women will see two attractive guys together, and it's like and I'm sure there's guys who feel that way too. I'm sure there's guys who see two attractive women together and go, that's a you know, waste of whatever, you know.
What's the same thing?
Or they want to throw their dick in the pot. You know what I'm saying? Like that, and that's another thing I've never done. I ain't never seen two lesbians together and it made me want to, you know, enjoy. Yeah. I don't even like lesbian porn. Since we talk about porn and stuff we don't like, I don't like lesbian porn. It don't do nothing for me, bro. Lesbian porn does zero for me, and that
can't remember the last time I watched a lesbian.
Yeah, I can't, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I've even times that I've watched two women get down live in front of me, it wasn't like, oh, I'm, you know, oh, I want to get in there. It's a
little really more sexy than for me.
A little bit, but it ain't never. I'm not gonna say it's not. But when I think back to the times that I've watched two women have sex, it ain't really brought out anything in me that wasn't already there. You know what I'm saying? Where I was already attracted to the two women, or one of them, or whatever that was. That wasn't. But yeah, I don't see two women together and automatically just go, oh yeah, let's make it happen, or whatever. Let's do it. You know,
that's just a state of mind that some people have, regardless. Because it's the other thing too. It's like that same treatment of what a waste also goes towards, you know, when they see a black man with a white woman or something like that. It's that same. Yeah. It's that same kind of. If this attractive, put together black man with his shit together and everything like that is not with a black woman, then it's a waste. Yeah. Whether that's what means he's with a man or if that means he's with a white woman, whatever that is, it's a waste. You could even throw that into the you know, the kink thing. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times you see a black man and a white woman and you automatically think, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like now I will say that sometimes. Now I'm guilty of that. That I am guilty of. There was a time when I would see a white man with a black woman and automatically think, you know, I'd be on some bedwind shit. You know what I'm saying? I'd be on some, you know, like he goes to his friends and tells them what it's like to be with a black.
Exactly. Like he, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then I you know, and I'm thinking like he's doing like the most foul shit to her, and you know, sexually, whatever.
But so the Confederate,
we going back to the.
No, I'm just saying that's that on 10. That's
what I'm saying. Back in the days, I'm talking about back in the days. Oh, okay. Like when I was younger, and I would see a white man with a black woman. Yeah. Now, no, it don't bother me now. I can't say that it moves me now. And again,
it's not a party. He's saying, "Come on, sister."
I think less than whatever that issue is, you know, racially motivated, you know, ethnically,
because that's
motivated.
Porn, that's porn shucking and jiving, is it not?
It is kinda. It is
low key,
but I think more so now. And again, I'm gonna say this, and you know, I'm so desensitized to just most sexual shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Most of us are at this point.
Exactly. Outside of the women that I spend time with intimately.
Yeah.
If I spend time with a woman intimately, if I'm, whatever, and I'm attracted to her, first of all, I'm not going to get with anybody that I'm not attracted to. I don't care what you think of her. I don't care what she looked like to you.
Yeah.
If I'm attracted to her, it works for me.
Yeah.
So automatically, that's, but sex in general, like different things, like we were talking, like what started this whole conversation was the P. Diddy thing.
Yeah.
And everybody's talking about what he's doing, and I'm thinking to myself like, you know what I'm saying? Like
the 1,000 bottles of baby oil is getting a lot of
traction.
traction.
It's like so much traction, and I'm like, dude, I got 4 bottles of mineral oil in my, you know what I'm saying? Why do I need 4 bottles of mineral oil? But I got them because I might need 4. I might need them at some point.
Where's the line where it becomes too much baby oil? Is it 5 bottles?
1,000 bottles is a lot. It's out of control. And I don't know what the hell was going on because even if you have it,
how is this packaged?
I was going to say, even if you have you could have 100-person orgy and you wouldn't need 1,000 bottles of baby oil.
Yeah,
that's wild. It is wild. But again,
does he have 1,000 boxes of Q-tips too? That ain't got nothing to do with nothing. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he's just a Sam's Club type nigga like that.
Is a paper towel. You know what I'm saying? Nobody went in the garage and said, "Oh, you got too much toilet paper." You know what I'm saying? Like if it was toilet paper, we'd all be like, "Oh."
I mean,
he's being sensible. He's being smart. He's getting ready for the
Listen,
but $1,000 a bottle of baby oil, man. Like,
but check this out.
There was a point in time, and I ain't gonna hold you. Like, I'm sorry, real quick.
Okay.
There was a point in time where I had, like I said, a bunch of bottles of mineral oil.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's too much. You know what I'm saying? In my mind, I was like, why do I have all these bottles of mineral oil? And if you don't know, then, hit me up in my DMs or whatever. I'll explain it to you. I'll let you know what the mineral oil is for. But, yeah, bro. But $1,000 bottles of baby oil is...
Diddy's life ain't
a lot of goddamn baby oil.
In our life. But, so I'm saying just as a, standard baseline of thinking.
Yeah.
For me personally, baby oil during sex is a good time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Baby oil from the back with the TV light glistening off the cheeks.
You be so
fantastic.
Specific, bro. You be so specific.
I'm just saying that specific thing.
You sound like this. You sound like you're describing something that happened recently.
You can't really get that shine without baby
oil or mineral oil. It's the same thing.
I mean,
mineral oil. Yeah.
I don't even know where to get mineral.
Try mineral oil. You can get it from CVS, Walgreens.
I mean, whatever.
It's a beautiful thing.
What, you drinking this oil?
No, it's for the same purpose. You know.
Why does it have minerals in it?
Because it's natural. Baby oil has chemicals in it that can affect a woman's pH balance and all that stuff like that.
I mean, you're not putting it inside of her.
But it might.
Okay.
You got it on your hands. You touching your John. You might. Whatever. Yeah.
So mineral oil is like vegan baby oil.
Yes. Basically. There you go. Okay. There you go. Perfect. That's a perfect explanation of it.
So be
it's mineral. It's from the.
But I'm saying so.
Or you could just go with the J-O,
right?
KY joint, whatever,
But so it's not illegal to have 1,000 bottles of baby oil.
Not.
How big were these bottles?
But there's a CVS somewhere that's struggling.
Maybe
there's a Walgreens, there's a Walmart somewhere that's struggling because P. Diddy didn't
That's
took
what
all
I'm
the
saying.
damn baby oil out of
all
it.
these bottles of baby oil, the same bottle of baby oil, are they cased? Because who counted all these bottles?
That's what I want to know.
It's just like,
I want to know who walked in there and thought that this was the item that needed to be inventory and made mention of.
And that's what I'm saying.
Really?
It's like
why?
The baby oil part of it is where it's
made
like
so much.
We talking about a dude, he's in there for sex trafficking, racketeering. We seen him beat Cassie ass crazy. We know that he's been involved in some nefarious activity down through the years. Or
taking money from his artists,
right?
Not paying his artists,
all
whatever,
of that.
And but we worried about baby oil.
You stuck on the 1,000 bottles.
But that's who we are, bro.
Why are you throwing that number out there? And that's what I'm saying is you're throwing the 1,000 bottles of baby oil out there to make it to paint the picture more of a certain way. You know what I'm saying?
Got you. Like to make it seem like it's so much worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
the baby oil does not make the other stuff worse.
No. And then that's the effect that it has on it. I'll tell you one thing that happened when I was I was on jury duty one time, and the dude got found guilty, but it wasn't as cut and dry as all that.
Yeah.
So when we were doing for the sentencing part, and in the sentencing part they have people come like character witnesses and all this other stuff for you, so you can determine, should this guy get life without parole, should he get life with possibility of parole in 20 years, blah blah blah, this that. So at one point the prosecuting attorneys asked this guy that was a parole officer for this guy, he was like, is it true that he was walking around with a 9mm pistol at this point in time? And the guy said yes, and they left it at that.
Yeah.
I saw the guy whisper over to his lawyer, and the defense attorney asked him in follow-up, cross-examination, like, isn't it true that he found that pistol and he called you and turned that pistol into you?
Yeah.
And he said yes. And I was like, wow.
So the context changed when you
They were trying to paint him out as a gun-toting, walking around with a gun all the time. But the fact of the matter was he found a gun and called the authorities and turned it into them. And he left all that out. So my point is...
Well, and again, to speak to your point, he was already up for all this other stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, would him having a 9mm on him have made any of that other stuff
this is
worse?
All, bro, this was all because he was found guilty, and the guilty was a technicality.
Yeah.
But now they're trying to make him look a certain way so he could get the worst possible case. I mean, get the worst. There was even one other thing they said in there. There was like, when he was in middle school, some dude had taken his girlfriend, and he threatened the dude. He said, "I'm gonna kill you, blood." And so they tried to take that as he's a member of the Bloods and this stuff. I was like, are you guys insane? This was a kid that got humiliated because his girlfriend was taken.
Yeah.
And he was doing all he could to sound tough. He didn't touch the guy. He didn't even get into a fight with the guy. He was trying to sound tough. So he did. That's what that was. And my point is, with the baby oil, that is what that is. And even with the
significance of the baby oil is not even relevant to,
or the suggestion that he likes gay sex, like that gets thrown in there, like it gets thrown in there with the criminal stuff, and it's just like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
It's
him having anal sex with another grown man is not illegal. Exactly. It is what it is.
And then even I've seen some of the people, like even some of the news that's covering this whole thing, and when they come out and they say, and he's known for his freak parties, and it's just like they're throwing that out there.
What? Well, here's what happens. Here's what happens, and we know this happens in America in general. Yeah. Anytime you are found guilty of something, whatever that thing is, like you said, now the goal is to totally tear your character down, so that thing can make sense. Yeah. Like if we, like, you know what I'm saying, like you find out that, somebody would, like now it's like, oh, now we got to find out what led to this. Because it wasn't just, what I'm saying, we can't believe that it was just this thing. It's got to be a history of this dude being, trash or whatever it is that we got to pull up to make all this stuff make sense. Because this doesn't make any sense to us unless we tie it to 30 years of,
And they know what to say to make it stick. Yeah. And so it's just like, the fact that they keep bringing up the 1,000 bottles of baby oil, it sends a signal to our mind like, wow, this guy's out of control.
Out of control, yeah, exactly.
When it's
so again, even with it, so again, we go back to the beginning of this whole conversation. It's like twofold. It's that, but now it's, I have to bring shame to you to deflect from whatever I might be doing. That might come out, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, not that anybody's going to give a damn about anything coming out about me. Yeah. But in order for me to feel good about whatever I'm doing,
Yeah.
I gotta, shame you for what you doing. I gotta make your thing. I gotta accentuate your thing that much more.
Yeah.
Highlight it to make it seem, it's so bad,
Yeah.
so I can sleep good at night about the fact that I like baby oil splashed on my ass too. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Like it's like
I mean,
I like splashing baby oil on asses too, but I gotta, but I don't have 1,000 bottles, so I'm not as bad as you. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, yeah, but then it's like, I thought you were saying you like baby oil splashed on him. I was trying my best not to judge you. I was like, let me not be a hypocrite.
I was wondering why you stopped like that. Like
I was like, let me not be a hypocrite. I said,
you said you're gonna accept me for everything that I am.
Yeah, I thought that's how
Jarreau was ready to stop the podcast.
No, it wasn't. I was gonna say, when the brother likes baby oil splashed on his ass, so be it. It got nothing to do with me. I ain't splashing.
No. I'm saying because I was speaking in terms of a woman.
Yeah,
I was saying it in terms of a woman, but then I flipped it real quick and was talking about me. And here's the crazy part, bro. To even go a little bit further with this, it's people out there, and let me preface this to the watchers, to the viewers. I am in no means, in no way knowledgeable of what Puffy did.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Other than I did see the Cassie shit.
Yeah.
That was wild.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Throw that nigga under the bus for that.
Right.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm not sitting here trying to condemn him for anything he's done. Because to be fair, I've had certain women that I've done some wild shit with.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you were talking about the choking, you know what I'm saying? The slapping, whatever. Nigga, I didn't did all that.
Yeah.
But ain't nobody coming for me because I ain't got enough money to.
Well, that and it was consensual.
Exactly. It was consensual.
You wasn't like, bitch, you gonna take this choking and this slapping. I mean, okay. But,
I may have at one point or another. Okay. I'm not saying this. I'm not saying.
But I'm sure if she would have said stop, you would have stopped.
Yeah, I probably would have stopped.
So. I'm trying to let you out of this.
I might have stopped.
Keep passing the exit.
Exactly. No, I'm saying all that to say that we are so, but again, unless you know somebody, unless you got a part, you know what I'm saying, unless you, and we, we've always been this. You and I have always been unfiltered. I've always been unfiltered with the people.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Whether it was on the Pool Table podcast, whether it was on, Friday Night Comedy, whatever it was, or not Friday Night, Everyday Talk with Jay Devon. I've never had a problem with speaking openly about, me. You know what I'm saying? Judge me if you want to. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? You ain't paying my bills. You ain't, you know what I'm saying? You ain't fucking me. You ain't really got, you have no, you have no significance in my life, especially if you ain't subscribed. Fuck you too.
Right on.
You gotta put that out
easy.
there.
You don't gotta say fuck you.
But I'm saying the inability for so many of us to just admit, I like that. You know what I'm saying? That's why when you do meet somebody who is able to say, it's refreshing.
Yeah.
And it's almost a turn on. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I ain't saying that I like women who like to be choked and but when I hear a woman say that, it's like, at least I know you know what I'm saying? At least you like what you like. You know what I'm saying? And that don't mean you want to be choked every time. That don't mean you want to just be constantly, every time we have sex, you got to choke me out. I'm not, but at least you know what I'm saying? Just, so man.
But even in the concept of in the context of let's say I throw orgies here and there. You know what I'm saying? And pretty regularly. Let's say I throw orgies pretty regularly. And the first thing with black people that they like to say on stuff like that is that's some white people shit.
Yeah.
And that's just, I don't understand what that is. But then the next thing is, can I come? And then then the next thing after that is just like, if I'm throwing orgies on a pretty regular basis, I'm gonna have some stuff that some people don't have. I might have more towels than some people. You know what I'm saying? I might have some sheets. I might have more sheets. I might have more baby oil, more lube, more condoms,
yep.
more everything. Where you come in there like, damn, all these condoms. So,
but generally, you putting that stuff up before people get there,
right? But
that's not your regular. Like if I just come over to your house to, have dinner, I don't expect to see a bowl of condoms sitting on the coffee table.
But imagine if the freak parties were on the up and up.
Yeah.
Like, and you can't tell me somebody of Diddy's stature is not capable of throwing a freak party that's on the up and up.
Yeah.
Like where everybody knows, hey, we gonna come here. Now the shit that I heard,
and I think he is.
The shit that I heard, he was drugging people and coercion was happening.
Out of pocket, Diddy.
Drugging people and making people be drugged up, for multiple days at a time. Just with the words they used was for obedience and compliance and stuff like that. Yeah. Forcing women, including Cassie, to have sex with like male sex workers and stuff like that. Wow, out of pocket. Yeah. But my point is, somebody of his stature would have been capable of having orgies on the up and up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Private.
I mean,
like with a bunch of people willing to be there.
Just being able to say, like being able to go to the club and take 2-3 women home with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, who gonna tell Puffy no? You know what I'm saying? Like,
but I'm saying if he wanted to,
I'm not saying somebody wouldn't, but I'm saying there's gonna be at least 3 women in that club that's gonna go.
Yeah,
let's rock.
But if it's a group thing and it's like, so it's Diddy, it's Jay-Z, it's all these hired these well-known famous stars, and they want to have an orgy with a bunch of consenting, willing women that want to do that,
they could put that out there.
They could make it happen.
Absolutely.
But it's the same thing with like a Bill Cosby. It's like Bill Cosby couldn't pull without doing that. Of course he could have.
Yeah.
Dude, Darren Sharper from the Saints,
Green Bay Packers,
Saints.
Yeah.
It was both. Yeah, I think he played for both.
Yeah.
But this dude was doing the Bill Cosby shit. And he got 20 years. He in prison for 20 years.
And so again, we can even go to that. So we go back to the top, the topic.
Yeah.
Even that. Why do they do those things? It's power.
Yeah.
That's a kink for them. You know what I'm saying? That control, that power, that wanting to, you know what I'm saying? And again, I ain't gonna hold you. I've been there. You know what I'm saying? I like a little control every once in a while. I like a little, like what you gonna do about me doing this? You know what I'm saying? Whatever.
Okay.
I'm not trying to sell you on it, nigga. No, I see you not buying, but okay, whatever. No, I'm just saying, like, for real, man. Like, I have been where, like, I don't know, I can't speak for every man, but again, bro, like, I understand it because for them, that's power. Yeah. Their power comes in empowering somebody else, taking away their power. Yeah. I'm not saying it's right. Please do not come for me in the comments, whatever. I'm not saying it's right. Yeah. I'm saying that's where that's their kink now. Yeah. So now I will shame the fuck out of that. That's a kink I'll shame in a minute. I don't like, people not being able to have their power. I like that if I am going to control you, I want you to be able to say, pineapples or whatever the fuck the safe word is to get out of that shit. Because I don't need that. I don't need to, dominate you per se.
Yeah, but it's the sweet dreams are made of these. Like some of them want to abuse you, some of them want to be abused, some of them want to. What is it? Some of them want to control you.
Some of them want to.
No, some of them
used by you.
Some of them want to use you. Yeah. Some of them want to be used by you. Mm-hmm. So it's just like
to abuse you. Some of them want to be
abused
by you. Yeah.
And then so it's just like there are people that like to be dominated. Yeah. There are people that have power at work. Yeah. And they everybody around them does what they say, and that's why dominatrixes get work. Yeah. So it's just like even that you can't necessarily shame that kink. The only shame that comes with any kink, I feel like, is your need to hurt somebody else in the process.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about. Again, I'm not saying that the kink itself is the problem. Yeah. I'm not saying that because, again, like I said, I have had, control, scenarios.
Fetishes.
Exactly. Where, like you said, I've had women who have been like, dominate the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
And there's a point where I'm not going to hold you. I gotten uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, it's too much. You know what I'm saying? Like, where do I draw the line in, slapping the shit out you, you know what I'm saying? And have, you know what I'm saying? Like, and yes, in those situations with those women, I found that line, you know what I'm saying, where it's like, okay, that's too much, you know what I'm saying? Or they've said, you know what, that was a little bit too much.
Yeah.
Okay, pull it back, whatever, you know what I'm saying? So, but there have been times when I've been with two women. I can speak to two women who didn't have a line. And that shit made me, you know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, I can't, you know what I'm saying? I can't hit you that hard, you know what I'm saying? I can't. That's where I draw the line, sweetie. I can't.
They wanted
the, and I was like,
that's where, like, for me, and there's a guy for them, for me, that my head gets to going, like, what happened? Why do you like this and all that kind of stuff?
You started like, where was your father at?
Yeah, I mean, what happened? How did you? How did you figure out that
you like this? Like? Yeah, and that's the other thing, bro. Well, and again, man, I'm so glad you said that, because again, when you start talking about these kinks, it's like, how did this even come about? You know what I mean? Like I look at me.
Happened.
Well, no. Like for me, like I like big asses. Yeah. And I like feet. I don't know how, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't know when that moment was that just big asses I can kind of pinpoint. Yeah. I can kind of pinpoint the big ass thing. Now, my mom had a friend who, man, that was where my love for plus size women started.
I feel like big asses is one of those things where it's almost evolutionarily grown. I mean, I don't even know if that's
really,
a word. Like, I'm not saying for everybody. I'm saying the reason people like big asses is like there's a evolutionary reason for that.
But I can go back to I can go back to we all know the story of Sarah Bartman, and well, some of us know the story of Sarah Bartman, and then before that, of course, I mean, I'm sure it's in our
Sarah Bartman
DNA. Sarah Bartman. She was the slave that was paraded around France. She had the big booty.
No, man,
I've seen the picture of her.
I went to school in the West Coast.
Oh, sorry.
They don't teach all that.
Well,
black
Google
stuff.
Sarah Bartman, and then let me know. And you might even be able to throw it. But again, bro, we going back to what we talked about at the beginning.
Being sexualized.
Being sexualized.
Yeah.
Again, that came from years of being sexualized by other cultures who would go to Africa and get these men and women and take them out and display their bodies for the purpose of entertainment.
And Africans do they got them twerk dances. That's
and it's cultural.
Yeah,
but
just like Hawaiians got they got their hula dance. Yeah. Remember we had that topic twerk versus hula, which one's more? But it's just like a thing of. It's a thing of like...
But it's usually people outside of the culture who sexualize it.
Yeah, but
they don't sexualize it amongst each other. I mean, well, I'm sure they probably see a woman and think
sexualize it amongst each other. Like, I definitely see... BET Uncut was us sexualizing the fuck out of it. You know what I'm saying?
But they was out there for that.
That's what I'm saying.
It was a Tip Drill was a video where who didn't sexualize Tip Drill? Yeah. Who didn't sexualize Rump Shaker? Who didn't sexualize...
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So I'm saying, like, it's like... But you talking about somebody being tied up and paraded through that's a whole different level of sexualizing somebody. But and I've seen white parents that adopt black children and you have them dressed a little too grown, a little too early and stuff like that, and it's strange. But it's just like one of those things. Like I said, even as much as because the black people are really, a lot of us don't go to the church. Yeah. But there's still that deeply ingrained thing of
absolutely.
If you say you don't go to church, there's the or if you say you don't believe or this or that and the other, there's the so if you're black, like a black atheist is a totally different thing than a white atheist. like
Facts.
the reaction to it. You know what I'm saying? It's like and so it's just like,
well, even that's a shame. You know what I'm saying? Like we shame black people who say they're atheists. Like, nigga, what is wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? Like again, I don't believe in religion, but I do believe in a higher power, God, whatever the case may be. But you know, I'm not an atheist. Yeah, by no stretch am I atheist. But yes, even that conversation is a level of shaming that we put on each other for.
We say black people are not a monolith, and then we say, why ain't you just like me, nigga? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, absolutely. Why?
Hey man, you hey, make sure you get a close up of you saying that, nigga. I'm pointing out all this shit, bro. Make sure you get a close up of you saying that, because that's facts, man. It's like we want so hard for other ethnicities to see us as individuals, right? About a lot of stuff. Like if somebody black in the news does something wild, it's like, oh, I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I ain't, don't lump me in with that nigga.
The DC sniper.
But exactly. Don't lump me in with that nigga, you know, whatever. Or even just a drive-by shooting. Yeah. You just drive by. I lived in LA for years. You whatever, something gang related or something, whatever. Like, don't lump me in with these niggas. You know what I'm saying? But the reality is, if I don't do what y'all think I should do, then I'm a weirdo. Yeah. You know, if I say I like horseback riding and, you know what I'm saying, cliff diving, it's like, oh, what's wrong with you, weird ass, you know what I'm saying? Like, so.
But you'll get that from black people as well. Yeah. Like, oh, you want some old white people stuff.
And that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Like if I say I'm a horse, if I say I like horse riding, most black people are like, what? Dang, what are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like if I say I like classical music, it ain't even gotta be that. If I just say I like classical music, you know, there's literally groups for black people who get kink shamed so much about whatever they like. They got groups for that, like anime. You know what I'm saying? They got groups for like black blurs. Exactly. Yeah. Black nerds. You know what I'm saying? Like, why do we need to have, and I'm not saying that there shouldn't be separation for certain, again, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody wouldn't be able to lump into a group that likes basketball because not everybody likes basketball. I get it. But we have so much separation amongst ourselves over some of the smallest differences and things that we like,
and it's hush and unspoken about. Like that's why, you know, that bit I told you I got about being a real nigga and this and that. Yeah. So the reason that joke works, I've seen, like, watching the reaction to it, is a lot of people can relate to, like, I'm not that. Absolutely. I've never been that. And so it's like, but the community as a whole, the same way we hold up the black church, we hold up, you know, real niggas, like street niggas.
I've talked about this with y'all. One of my biggest struggles when I got back on stage was how to convey who I was at that time to black audiences. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, you and I were both Marine Corps veterans. Yeah. College educated, you know, whatever. I went to college. I'm just saying, there's certain things that I don't want to talk about. Yeah. Certain things that I don't care to talk about. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what EBT looks like. Right. I don't know what, you know, I'm not saying I don't know what the struggle looks like, poverty, whatever, you know, whatever. But I'm just saying it's not my life now. Yeah. My life now is, you know, or at that time when I got on stage, I was a father. You know what I'm saying? I was a husband. I was, you know, I was working in corporate America. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I had all these life experiences that, you know, again, you walk into a room full of black people, they don't give a damn about your life. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They want to hear you talk about, you know, lashes and weave and EBT and you know, the barbecue and some, you know, getting whoopings and goofy shit like that. Bro, I ain't got none of those. I got those experiences, but that's not what I want to share with y'all, because that's not authentic for me. Yeah. It is part of who I am, but I'm saying, like, my life authentically right now. And shout out to the dudes that, you know, came to me and told me, you know, one of my first mentors, you know, he told me, like, straight up, bro, do your life. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Find out how to do your life and make your life funny. And once I figured it out, it's easy now. It is what it is now. But yeah, I struggled with for years trying to, you know, fit into blackness. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And have what I, you know, have just being a regular dude, an everyday dude who goes to work, who raises his kids, who whatever. How to make that cool, if you will. You know what I'm saying? And funny.
Yeah.
You know, and so again, Cosby is one of my dudes, comedically. You know what I'm saying? So again, I watched him, and then, David Arnold is another one that I, shout out to David Arnold, rest in peace. And so again, I have this combination of these comedians who I, have watched over the years to kind of, understand how to portray my voice to people. Yeah. But there's still people that I know hear me and go, oh, this nigga corny. You know what I'm saying? He ain't, you know what I mean? Because that's just who we are. We, like you said, we try to fit our whoever into our idea of what we like is.
Well, that's the thing. It's like I've seen black comedians that are terrified of black crowds.
Yeah.
And black crowds have this reputation and everything, but I mean, really, what I've learned and seen in my time doing stand-up is that black crowds appreciate confidence and authenticity.
And because I've traveled, and done black audiences around in other cities and stuff, I struggled at first wondering, what that looked like. But again, at the end of the day, bro, if you're funny is funny.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. And again, that's why I said I put more effort into figuring out how to be funny than how to be whatever it is that you think I'm supposed to be. Because there's going to be somebody sitting in the audience with their arms folded, like, I don't give a fuck about what you're saying. Fuck you. You know what I mean? Just whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, the other 99 people get it.
Yeah.
I'm cool with you not getting it. Or the other 80 people get it. And if 20 of y'all want to sit there and go, oh, well, he's not my kind of, okay. Whatever, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm good.
Yeah, so, and plus after a while, it's just like, I remember when I first started, and I think I asked you, like, how do you start getting into, like, touring and all of this kind of stuff? And you basically just said, first learn how to be funny or whatever.
Yeah.
And at first I was like, nigga, that's not what the fuck I asked. But at the same time, I did exactly that.
Yeah.
I learned how to get funny. And then when you do learn how to be funny and you've seen it enough times to where you're like, all right.
Yeah.
There's enough evidence that I am funny. So,
and to back up to what we were talking about at the top, bro, that's just a part of it.
Yeah.
We talk about this all the time. We talk about this off camera. We probably gonna talk about it on camera when it's all said and done. The actual being funny and how much that matters in comedy is like 10 to 20%.
Which is funny because when I asked you about the business of comedy, you gave me the funny. You said learn how to be funny.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, of course.
But that's you basically saying
initially
it's the 10% or 20% or whatever percentage you want to give it, but it's a good foundation to be on.
Exactly.
Like having a foundation of, if your fan base is your foundation, I don't know, you could probably get away with some things here and there.
For a while,
but if your foundation is you're funny and then you grow a fan base from there, I think that's exactly the healthiest. Like, somebody like Bill Burr, for instance.
Well, and there's some kind of corresponding, like cross in between there, because even if you take some of these cats that come off social media first, they built up a fan base first.
Yeah.
On social media, then they said, okay, now I can, and they can fill up 300, 400 seats because they got 20,000 followers or whatever, and then they ain't got to really worry about being funny.
But a lot of them built that fan base because they were funny. They just had to make it translate on stage.
Well, I mean, funny in skits to funny on stage, exactly. Like translate that. But you also have a little bit more leeway to be able to say, okay, maybe I am not as funny on this one, but I can get it back.
Yeah.
Because, I do have this many people who mess with me.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas when you start off with just trying to be funny first, now you gotta have people look at what you do and go, oh, he's funny. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like you trying to. I don't know how to explain it. I'm sorry. I'm stumbling, but you can do both,
Yeah.
But there's a balance of both that works to make the system go.
Yeah.
Like, you can be funny first.
Yeah.
You still got to build up the fan base to put asses in the seats. Or being funny is not gonna matter. You know what I'm saying? If you only funny in front of 5 people every night,
Yeah.
But if you already have the fan base from skits or whatever you do, then you say, okay, well, now I'm gonna try to be funny on stage.
Yeah.
I feel like you got a little bit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But I feel like
it's still a point where they gonna go,
yeah,
I spent $40 fucking to come watch this unfunny ass dude try to do stand up. Stick to the skits, nigga.
But this, but this the dope part about being funny first is like, if you go, hey everybody, look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me, right? Which is what all this is. If you do that and then everybody looks and you got nothing, then everybody's like, all right, then you got nothing. But then if you get funny first and then you're like, hey everybody, I got something to show you over here. Check this out. And it's like, they're like, oh, where's this?
He's funny, yeah.
Yeah. So somebody like, even somebody like Ryan Davis, very, very, he knows his way around the internet.
Yeah.
But he also knows his way around that stage.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like,
he was at Chocolate Sundays the last time I was there. He freaking destroyed, bro. He was, exactly.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. It's like he has that perfect combination of what you want to have, especially at this point in time in today's comedy scene. Like, and I've seen older black comedians,
not be able to do the.
Will be frustrated with him, like
the internet
even try to try it, like, oh well, yeah, you got the internet stuff going on. It's like
no, but on stage, no, that dude is
exactly.
can hold his own with anybody.
Yeah, but it's like they feel like some of them feel like, but you still wouldn't have all this if it wasn't for the internet, and it's just like you're supposed to do it the way I did it.
Yeah, and
it's like, well, the way you did it is not a thing anymore.
I feel it.
You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
This was a good conversation.
Yeah, man. I guess the overarching theme of this shit is stop shaming people, man. Like, I don't think we ever gonna get past that.
No. It's deeply ingrained in
it's so ingrained in us at this point that, you might have the few people who can talk openly about it, but you're going to have those other people still sitting on the outside looking in going, they talking about sex, you know what I'm saying? They talking about that. So,
but you can listen to a conversation like this and be like, I never thought about it that way before, and loosen up your grip on it a little bit, and then maybe if you have a few more conversations with other people, and be like, you know what,
it's the same way when I talk about polyamory with people. I'm not talking about it to get you to become polyamorous. I don't give a damn what you do with your life.
Yeah,
I just want you to have a better understanding of why you feel like you need to have this judgment.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I need you to know that if you're going to judge somebody for whatever it is that they do, at least try to understand what they're doing first.
Yeah, you
know what I'm saying? And I mean,
some people see polyamory as a direct threat to monogamy.
So, I don't even. We can talk about that on a whole nother. That's a whole nother conversation.
I was just saying, but that's what that is.
But. Or even just this thing about sex, you know what I'm saying? People see gay and lesbian as a threat to heterosexuality.
It's sex too with the polyamory, because a lot of times as soon as you say you polyamory, it'd be like, oh, you just want to fuck everybody.
But with the whole thing with kink, with shaming and stuff like that, bro, it's like, it's beyond me, and I guess again because I'm so desensitized to it, and maybe that's what the thing is that you have to kind of desensitize yourself to it. Because if you spend all your time worrying about what these people kissing on camera is going to do, to your children who you don't even let watch this show, you know what I'm saying? Your kids ain't even watching this show, but they're kissing on TV. Don't let your kids watch it. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, is it really going to matter in the choices that your child makes in their, in their journey or whatever? You know what I'm saying? It might, but
gay people watch heterosexual people kiss on TV, growing up their whole lives.
We don't say that it's wrong for them to watch us.
No, I'm saying it didn't affect the choices that they made.
That's what I'm saying.
They still wanted what they wanted. So it's just like. Me seeing two men kiss on a show is not gonna be like, that means I gotta do that now. It's like, no, that's not for me. But I can. They they have their relationship, their thing, what they like, and that's for them.
Y'all got to do better, man. Just that's where we at, man. Do better, man. Yeah, man. Open up your mind.
Not excusing what Diddy did at all.
No, not at all. Broaden your horizons, though, man. And yeah, man. Think outside the box, man. Allow people to be who they are and embrace them for who they are. Because again, man, don't not to be all preachy and stuff like that, but a lot of what we do it's not character. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't define who we are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We be whoever you want to be in the bedroom. You can be whoever you want to be, whatever your kinks are, whatever that is. As long as you're a good person to, the people around you, and like you said, you ain't just, shitting on people and whatever, then who cares, man? You know what I'm saying? Who cares?
Yeah.
We don't care. But, yeah, man. Like,
comment, share,
subscribe, share, all those things, man. Like, comment, share, subscribe. LCSS. Do all that, man. And again, follow us on social media. Jarreau's going to be dropping the links and stuff and the ats and all the other stuff for all of our social media. Mm-hmm. Off top, at J Devon across everything.
At Jarreau Comedy.
Yep, across everything. So follow us, man. Again, thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of the Jaye and Jarreau podcast. That is Jaye and Jarreau on Instagram. On YouTube. When you go to look it up, you got to type in Jaye and Jarreau or J&Jarreau podcast, and it'll come up.
What'd you say, Jay? What?
Ampersand. The and sign.
Oh, okay.
You know what? We're going to do grammar on the next episode.
Nah.
We're going to do English. I forgot you was Vegas. You went to school in Vegas.
Oh, hold on now.
Thank y'all, man, for tuning in. Yeah, man. We love y'all.
Peace.
Yeah.